The next question is about
One of the criticisms.
the criticism that they say is that your dawah is black nationalism. That's the criticism that a lot of people say. What do you say about that?
Well, obviously, to someone who doesn't understand what nationalism is, they're going to label it. It's almost like the guy Anwar Wright, when I did the paradigm shift. He didn't know how to translate the paradigm in Arabic. He probably never heard the word before in his life. So he goes back to Sheikh Ubay and he translates to Sheikh Ubay that I'm doing a lecture on philosophy in Islam. And that's when the Sheikh said he's Dalul Mubin. You understand?
So now the context is coming up.
You understand what I'm saying?
So now the context is coming up. Okay.
He didn't know how to translate paradigm. And if you ask him right now, translate paradigm in Arabic, he can't give it to you. These guys don't know Arabic. These guys don't know the Quran. These guys are as ignorant as they come. And I'm sorry to say that, because I know a lot of people invest a lot of time and energy in a lot of these people. But to be honest with you, they have legalized immorality, have legalized sin in the city. And one of the reasons why many of our sisters can't find decent brothers to marry is because our brothers are immoral. They've legalized sin through their ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? I can give you qaida after qaida after qaida, batila min asliha, of that they have put out that have contributed to the immorality of the brothers in our communities. They have has systematically legalized sin in our communities, and they have fragmented the communities to the point of no return. So the whole issue about the nationalism, I mean, when you say nationalism in Arabic, I translate that as qawmiyya. So I'm basically calling to, or my dawah is kind of infused with me calling to my people. I'm not calling to my people, but I'm an African American. Most of my time is spent amongst African Americans. The issues that I deal with and that I'm qualified to deal with are African American issues. I can't go to a foreign community, Pakistani community, Arab community, and deal with their issues. You understand what I'm saying? Their issues are cultural issues that are specific to them. Exactly. And I'm not skilled enough, I'm not qualified enough to deal with their issues. But I am qualified to deal with my people and my people's issues. I'm always amazed at how Caucasian converts, as well as Arabs who know English, how they spend the vast majority of their time in African American communities. And the fact of the matter is that many of them, if they were not Muslim, you wouldn't have a damn thing to do with African American communities. You understand what I'm saying? So you find a Caucasian Muslim, this is no disrespect, I'm just telling you like it is. You find Muslims who are Caucasians. Like, I remember in Mecca, I went to Musa Richardson's house, and he was showing me some paper that he wrote about the Nation of Islam. And I'm like, why are you writing a refutation on the Nation of Islam? Why don't you write a refutation on white supremacy? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why do you become Muslim, become a student of knowledge, and you're attacking issues that exceeds your competency, your ability to deal with? What do you know about black nationalism? What do you know about the Nation of Islam? Because you went on Google, you read a couple of books, you read a couple of documents. You didn't talk to anybody that was in the nation. You ain't come to African American communities and have discussions, substantial discussions with people who are part of the nation who can give you the inside story. And I mean, then why do you even care enough to write whatever refutation on the Nation of it? Why does that even matter to you? Why is that important to you? Why isn't things like white supremacy important to you? Why isn't police brutality important to you? Why do we have to deal with those things when you're a Caucasian convert to Islam and you are a part of that culture? You are a part of the 1%. You are a part of the dominant culture. You know what I mean? So, it always puzzles me, man. It's always
I always had that question too.
It's just like, why are you even here?
Why are you even here? Yeah.
It's not to say that we can't benefit from an imam or student of knowledge who is Caucasian, but at the same token, issues that are relative to us, that are directly related to us, those are our issues.
Like getting leadership and actually digging yourself into our culture. You
right,
shouldn't do that.
Exactly. Umar Quinn, he's the imam of Masjid Rahma, but he lives in Bloomfield. You live in the suburbs, dude. You don't live in the hood with the people and actually, there on the ground with the people. You live in Bloomfield. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You don't really care enough about the people to be in there with the people. Abu Uwais, rahimahullah ta'ala, moved from Ohio to East Orange. He lived right in East Orange, not too far from the masjid, right in the hood. But when a Caucasian imam becomes the imam, we got to move him up to Bloomfield because he can't live in the hood. But yet he can come to the hood and dictate to us how we should live our lives and how we're not on the sunnah and how we're not practicing Islam correctly. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole issue of me, being nationalistic. It's not that I'm nationalistic. It's just that I had reached a point in my life where I had to realize that I'm an African American, and I'm not going to be any more than that. I'm not an Arab. You understand what I'm saying? I speak Arabic fluently. I can read Arabic fluently, but I will never be an Arab. You know what I mean? I am an African American, and I had to accept that. You know what I mean? In my second to my last year in the university, I stopped wearing the gutra. I'm not that is not my culture. And now, mind you, other students might differ with me on that. You wear the people of your, you wear the clothes of the people, whatever. So it's not libas, shuhra. You're not showing off or whatever the case may be. But I just think that there's some acceptance of our condition that many of us as students of knowledge have yet to accept. We haven't accepted that. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that I learned very early on that I am nothing more than an African American, and I embrace that, and I work towards trying to uplift. When you look at, for example, Al Maghrib Institute, or you look at any of these institutes, they don't come to our communities to teach us.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They stay amongst their people. But they are never called nationalists. They are never called racist. You know why? Because they're the dominant culture. We are the minority, so we take the brunt. We take the burden of everybody. You understand what I'm saying? While they can teach their people and educate their people, and nobody will ever say that they're racist.
No.
When in fact, many of them are. Al Maghrib Institute is not going to come to a masjid in Philadelphia, in the slums of Philadelphia, and teach and educate the people. Al Maghrib Institute has been going, Al Bayna Institute, and all these other institutes. But you'll find Rhoda Institute, Shadid Muhammad, the CEO of Rhoda Institute. I'm right here in the hood with everybody else, man. I'm right here with everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? And if that makes me a nationalist because I love my people, and I'm not going to do what many other African American imams have done, I could do the whole Mufti Mink thing and put on the gutra and speak most of my time in Arabic and prop myself up to. I could have done that. And believe it or not, I have light skin privilege. I'm just being 100 with you.
No.
Doors will open for me that will not open for brothers that look like you and look like you. I'm just being real talk.
No, that's true.
I can go to certain Arab, Pakistani, Indo-Pak Arab masjids and give khutbahs and give lectures, and I would be welcomed with open arms. Just on the strength of the way that I look. But I chose not to do that. Yeah, I do go to some of those communities because I don't, I don't think that my dawah is restricted to just us. Although I feel most comfortable around my own people. And there's nothing nationalistic about that.